This is all the Star Wars figures I have found from both of these bins, and oh my god, some of these figures are so valuable, so rare. Um, I'm literally blown away by all this. Like, I'm literally so overwhelmed, but in a good way. Like, this is just awesome. Alright, and there they all are on the main stage, and like I said, a lot of these figures are some of the rarest Lego Star Wars and some of the most valuable Lego minifigures ever. And I'm blown away that I still have them. They were hidden somewhere from me. Like, oh my god. We're just gonna do the zoom one more time and pan across. Just look at all of these minifigures here. Like, amazing. Amazing. Some of them are so rare. But we're gonna go from the least rare and least valuable to I'm gonna go to the big stage and show off some of the most valuable and most rare out of this lot here. So without further ado, let's get into it. We're just gonna begin with the droids I've fished out of this lot, and it's really like I'm just building my droid armies and clone armies at that for free. Honestly, all my Mandalorians, it's like I'm building these armies for free with these massive bins and lots that I used to play with all the figures and all the sets in them all the time. I just, like I said, I up until today I didn't think they were still in existence in my possession. So I'm blown away that I have all this still. But I got two B1 rocket droids fully assembled. All the parts are there. Even jetpack, like it's amazing. Like what? Three normal B1s, as you could see there, which you guys all know what B1s look like. That guy in the back, I can't get I know I'm gonna have such a hard time getting that off, so I'm just gonna leave him painted like that, a painted B1, and also a bloody IG-88 over here. So those are the battle droids I've gotten from this lot, and again, I got how many is that there? I got 6 B1 battle droids. 5 of them are in perfect condition for free, and 2 of them are rocket B1 battle droids, which go for a little bit of cash. But as you can tell, I'm just blown away by all the stuff I've gotten today. Moving to the right over here, we have a bunch of R2s, and this is actually very cool because I totally forgot they even used this type of R2 minifigure, where it's just really the top of the cylinder piece here that is printed, and it's shiny silver though. And honestly, it's not bad. I kind of like it for some reason, but I really don't remember a lot of sets having this version of R2. I remember really these 2 versions over here, but what's also cool is this is the iconic R2 Lego style minifigure, but the head isn't that shiny silver yet, which is crazy. So I guess this was one of the first iterations of this type. Maybe after this one, I have no idea. Because this guy over here is like I said before, but this guy's actually the iconic Lego R2 because he has the shiny silver head. And this one really holds a special place in my heart because this is the R2 I used the most as a kid. And again, I completely thought he was gone to history, but I put this little spinning piece on him so his head could actually turn 360 around. So he's very special to me, this one. But I thought it was cool to see the delineation and differences between all these R2 figures that I found today. And obviously, the newest one is the best one with the printing all over it. But it's still just cool to have the evolution of them here. And again, it's just awesome. I got all of these battle droids as well, completely for free. You'd have to pay probably like $25 at least for 5 battle droids like that, which is a bit nuts. But go look on the websites. That's what they sell for, man. Maybe not as much now because these are actually in a newer battle pack, but the rocket ones are definitely worth a little bit of cash. So very cool. But those are all the droids I found. Let's move on to some living beings, some signs of life on this plate now. But and they're just over there because I have so many Star Wars figures I found from this lot. It's not even just minifigures in general, but moving on, like I said, let's start from the back because personally they're like the figures to me. But actually, this one I shouldn't say because this is very cool. This is just a normal Rebel pilot from the Snowspeeder set or many of the Hoth sets, and it's just really cool to have Rebel pilots because I got a lot of starships that need piloting, so it's always great to add another one to my collection. On the back here, we have just a normal version of Chancellor Palpatine from the Clone Wars. And again, like I just like him as the Emperor way better than him in this form, but still a cool figure to have. Moving on, I know this is Yoda, but I have like 3 of these Clone Wars style versions of Yoda, so that's why I'm like but still cool to have another Yoda. I didn't realize he was in so many sets, which is kind of cool. But moving on to the right here, just, like I said, it's like I'm building all of my armies for free, and it really is because we have 2 more Death Watch Mandalorians, and as you've seen, I just posted a Mandalorian Lego minifigure collection review video very recently, so it's nice to have 2 more Mandalorians to add to my sort of crew, which is really awesome because obviously the Mandalorian show is very popular and there's a lot of Mandalorians that Mando and Bo-Katan roll with, so just very, very awesome to have 2 more to add to my sort of Lego Mandalorian faction. Very happy to have these guys, very happy. They have different heads, but anyone could be a Mandalorian if they choose the way, so it's all good. But I'm just so awesome. And as you know, my favorite, I got 2 clones here. I tried to clean them up as best as I could. They were covered in red, which is the worst to remove. But this guy, he cleaned up pretty nice, and I gained another shiny Phase 1 clone, which these go for a bit of cash as well. So it's awesome to get one for free, and it just adds to my clone ranks, literally growing my clone army for free. So cool. Just to give you a look at him one more time. Nice classic shiny. He does have a big scar, though. He's seen some battles in his day. Then this guy over here, he was actually the worst with ink-wise. He had red all over, and this was really the best I could do. I could probably try a little bit more, which I probably will, but with that all being considered, I just threw a bunch of armor on him because I found so much of this clone armor, and I'm so happy to because I could just make more custom clones. I threw all this clone armor on him with the visor and the plastic waist cape, and I gave him this armor piece from Ninjago because I found this, but I found no skeletons, so I figured I'd give him this and make him sort of this like heavy Death Trooper sort of clone, and I just think he looks so cool. This I actually got from one of my custom clone lots that I just recently got, and I think it looks just awesome in his hands. He just looks like a super heavy Death Trooper clone, someone you wouldn't want to see firing at you, and I like how that came out. And again, I like having unique clones in my clone army, and like I said, I'm just building my clone army for free here, which I'll take any day of the week. But that's sort of the, I shouldn't say common because I love the Mandalorians and the 2 clones, but the sort of more common, and again, I really shouldn't say common because all of these figures are worth a pretty good amount of money as Lego figures go, but there is even more exciting minifigures on the way. This is the real money here, and we'll be going over those very shortly, so let's do it. Okay, you know it's serious when I bust out the big stage. Just to start off, we have General Madine, or Madine, I really don't know how to pronounce his name, but he is from the Home 1 Lego set, which is iconic. and I'm so grateful that I had that set. As you've seen, I have the A-Wing pilot from that set still, but not much of the other characters from that. Oh, or so you think, because there is another character from that set that I have found today, and I am so happy that I have this character. But General Medine here, all the characters from that Lego set are pretty rare. I actually have the Lando from that set as well, and I found his cape today, so I'm rolling in the dough today. But, again, just a rare figure. Really, I don't think there's any other versions of him made, and that's why he is a valuable figure, but that is General Medine. He's really got basic printing, but again, this is really the only one of him ever made in Lego, so very rare figure. But without further ado, it's going to get a little more exciting as we move on here, but moving on. And I didn't go over all the droids I found here today. I found my 4th Magna Guard IG-100 droid, and I am so happy I found him, because now I have all 4 from their Starship set, which is amazing. And what's really special about him is, you've seen them before on my channel, but just the basic how they look with that amazing molded head ahead of their time. But he has his cape, guys, that awesome cape, which perfectly completes his look, and I actually found 2 of those capes, so one of my other ones has them on now, so ecstatic to have him in completely perfect condition. But like I said, it's gonna get more exciting, so let's move on. Definitely not, like, I obviously think the IG-100 is way more exciting of a figure to me, but that's just me personally. I know how valuable this next figure is, and the next figure is right in front of you, and his name is Wald, and he's actually from the Anakin vs. Sebulba pod racing set from, I don't know what year, but it was the one with the Captain Rex box art, and all of the figures from that set are super rare, and I have every figure from that set. I have Wald, obviously, right here. I have Sebulba, and I might have found 2 more from that set that are coming up very shortly, and you will see. But this is Wald. He's that, I always call it that Greedo species. I really got to look up what type of species this is in Star Wars. But it's like, this is just such a unique minifigure, and that's why it's so valuable, because, again, the only version of him ever made. So cool. Obviously, he's a younger person, so that's why he has the short legs, but just such a cool minifigure to find. But that is Wald. Let's move on to the next figure. Alright, I told you guys I found 2 more figures from that set, and the one right in front of you right here is one of them, and it is the man himself, young Anakin Skywalker with his pod racing goggles on, as you could see. That's really the only difference between him and other young Anakin figures. He has those pod racing goggles here. I couldn't find the helmet that comes with this set, unfortunately, but I bet if I dig around more in that massive bin that I will find his helmet and some even more crazy stuff. But that's really the only difference between him and other Anakin figures. He has the same face. I luckily had just an extra one of these hairs lying around, and it looks perfect, and he's a very valuable minifigure. But moving on to another valuable minifigure. I shouldn't say another one, because all the minifigures in this part of this review are super valuable. But let's all right, and I said I have all of the figures from that set, because this is the last one I really needed, and this is Watto, obviously, and super valuable minifigure, a super valuable minifigure. Only thing is he's missing a gray hand, which I have 1,000 spare gray hands, so not a real issue. He has that great entire molded body and head here. It's that rubbery sort of mold, but it looks so good, and that's why this minifigure is super valuable, and I'm just so glad that I finally found him, because now I have all the minifigures from that set, because like I said, I've had Sebulba for a long time. But that's Watto, so let's move on to the next rare minifigure. Right, the ultimate gangster of the Star Wars universe, Cad Bane, and I have 2 of these, so not extremely exciting for me, but it's great to have 2. What am I saying? It's great to have 2 of these. This is the Clone Wars variant, the first Lego variant of him they made. But obviously I have two, so they use this variant a lot over the year. Not a lot, but they used it quite a bit over the years. He just has no printing on the pants. He has the classic jacket, which I actually like this jacket print the best out of all the Cad Bane minifigures. The classic face with the tubes, and the big hat as always. But so awesome to have another Cad Bane minifigure. But let's move on to the next. All right, this is a classic Han Solo minifigure. This iteration of them, I'm pretty positive, was like the first ones that weren't yellow. So very cool to have this minifigure. I have the other two versions of Han from. So this is the New Hope version of Han. I have the Empire Strikes Back version of Han, and I have a Return of the Jedi version of him. So, and again, this is all for free, guys, because this was all mine way before I started making videos on this YouTube again. And again, like I said, I didn't even know that these were still in my possession and existed. So, just very cool to have. Just again building all of my collection, all my Lego minifigure collections for free here. But it's the classic jacket, no printing on the back, that classic leg printing, and that classic face. And that is Han Solo. Let's move on to the next figure. Now we're gonna get really juicy. So be ready. All right, and I know you go, isn't that just a clone pilot? No, it is not. And what makes this figure immensely valuable is that helmet. And what does that helmet tell us? That helmet tells us that this is Captain Jag, one of the more prominent and popular clone pilot captains. And he actually is the clone who killed Plo Koon. So, sort of don't like him for that. But as a Lego minifigure, super valuable. And that helmet is what makes him super valuable. And he only came in one set ever, has never been in a set after that. Other than the helmet, he's really the same as a lot of clone pilots that Lego made with this variant and this helmet style, but that helmet is so cool because it's literally just specific to Captain Jag, and it lets you know that that's him, and I'm blown away that I found this figure. I'm super happy, but that's Captain Jag, like I said. Let's move on to the next rare minifigure. I told you I found a more exciting figure from that Home 1 set. The legend himself, Admiral Ackbar. And I have always loved Ackbar ever since I first saw him in Return of the Jedi. I hate how in the sequel trilogy they killed him. Like, there was no reason to kill him. But I'm not going to ramble here about the sequel trilogy because I would need a day's worth of video. But Admiral Ackbar, one of the goats, one of the legends in the Star Wars universe. He's the species of Mon Calamari. Obviously, he's what made that species famous in Star Wars, and it's just the printing is so good. This is such a basic but clean minifigure, and it's Admiral Ackbar. It's just, he's goated, and I'm so happy. This one, I literally put my hand in the bin, not even looking. What I came out with was an Admiral Ackbar, and I was like, oh my god. But I'm just so happy to have him because, again, I love him, and sticking my hand in there without looking was definitely not a trap. So I'm big chillin'. Admiral Ackbar's here, ready to take control of everything. But let's move on to the next rare minifigure. I don't know what set this one came from, but I know it's immensely valuable, specifically from watching Stud Stash. But this is a Geonosian, obviously, and these figures are some of the most valuable LEGO Star Wars minifigures because they really haven't been made ever again. There's a few different versions of them. There's original versions. These are sort of the second iteration, the Clone Wars iteration of them from Geonosis 2. So that's what also that is real. That also plays into why these are so valuable, because these are Geonosis 2 Geonosian Lego minifigures, and really the main part of their value is these printed plastic wings here, which are just so cool. There's really unique, and there's really no other printed sort of cape-like Lego pieces like that for other minifigures in Star Wars. And the printing on these figures was great. Just look at it all the way down to the legs. Fantastic printing. The texture on the back, awesome printing. And that amazing molded Geonosian head there. Such a cool minifigure. So rare. Money, money, money. But I actually have another one, so let's check him out. Now, in my opinion, this one is even cooler than the last one, because this is a zombie Geonosian minifigure, and you could tell he's a zombie because his eyes are just white, he has no pupils, and his wings are all destroyed. And this is just such a cool minifigure to have. So rare. They really have never made any more zombie Geonosians ever again. And it's just such a great figure again. Great printing, exactly like the last one. So cool. It's really awesome. I'm so happy I found both of these minifigures, and that is just great. But let's move on to the next rare minifigure. All right, and it's actually crazy I found this one, because I'm pretty sure it's either the 20 or 25 year anniversary of the Phantom Menace this year. So, and obviously the figure in front of us is a classic Darth Maul. He didn't come with the headpiece back then. He just came with a black hood, which I could put on him, but I just wanted you to see his face. This is sort of the original printing of Darth Maul, and it's also cool because they're releasing in the new catalog a sort of remake of this original version of Maul here, and you could see just the basic printing on the robes, nothing on the back, nothing on the legs, and again, just a basic printed figure, but amazing, and was way ahead of its time and inspired a lot more versions of Darth Maul in Lego form throughout the years. So I just think it's so cool. I have an OG version of him in Lego form, but let's move on to the next rare minifigure. When I saw this one, I was like, there is no way that I have a Bosk minifigure in perfect condition. As you know, Bosk is a legendary bounty hunter and a Trandoshan, which are always bad news. They're honestly the worst. They're the worst in all of Star Wars. Anytime you see a Trandoshan, you know he's up to no good. But Bosk is the most famous one of them, and like Akbar, he's the one who made them a famous species in Star Wars. And this figure is fantastic. That molded head is so good. Just look at that. It looks so sinister. The printing is fantastic in this suit Bosk wears. It's so awesome, the yellow. Another, like, basic printed figure, but just so great. And I'm just so happy I'm gonna do a Bounty Hunters collection video soon. And he's a fantastic addition to that collection. So, but that's Bosk. Let's move on. I told you guys that this was getting juicy. Let's move on to another rare minifigure. All right, and if I said money, money, money before to the Geonosians, this is one of the most rare Lego Star Wars, and specifically one of the most, if not the most rare Darth Vader Lego minifigure ever, because he only appeared in the Rogue Shadow set, which is iconic and legendary in itself. And I actually have Starkiller from that set still, as you've seen from a previous video on my page. But this is the sort of the way beat up version of Darth Vader. I actually, because he was missing a leg, and I actually had this spare robot leg, so I just put it on him. I know it should be on the other side, but I just think it looks fantastic on this version of Vader. I also put this piece from the dual molded helmet from the newer version of Darth Vader, because I had an extra one from the Boarding the Tantive set. I also put that there because I just think it works so great for this specific Darth Vader minifigure. And I also found this shorty red lightsaber. I think I'm going to give this to another figure in the lot coming up. But I thought that was funny. I was like, this is a shorty red lightsaber. Like, what? But look at this version of Darth Vader. Like, they have never made this version ever again. He's obviously just so beat up from fighting Starkiller. And I think that piece works so great with the printing on the face here. What an amazing figure. And no printing on the back, which is unfortunate. But again, this figure is one of the rarest Legos. This is one of the rarest Lego Star Wars minifigures ever. And when I saw this, I was like, no way. You should have seen my face when I was just pulling all these minifigures out of the bins before. It was literally like my jaw was on the floor. I had to roll it back up. But this is a great minifigure. I'm so happy to have him. And let's move on to another rare Lego Star Wars minifigure. Ooh, we have an original Lego Praetorian Royal Guard. And oh my, I knew I had this figure, but I could not find it for years until I found this bin today, which, like I said before, I've been blown away all day by the amount of rare Lego Star Wars minifigures I've found. But this is the OG version of the Lego Praetorian Guard. There's really not much printing on this figure other than the torso here, and it's really covered a lot by the mask, but this mask is what makes this figure so valuable. It's a great molded piece, and it just looks so, he looks so cool. And they actually came with capes, and the cape of his is sort of really messed up and ripped, but I actually like it on him. I think it makes him just look that much more menacing. He obviously comes with the spear, but this is just the bright red. This is just a great minifigure, and this is the OG version of the Praetorian Guard. I know they made some newer versions of him recently because of their appearance in The Mandalorian, but such a great minifigure. I'm so happy I have him. I actually bought this minifigure when I was younger. This was like one of the first singular minifigures I've ever bought, like not from a set. So this is an awesome minifigure. I'm super happy to have him. But let's move on to the minifigure I've been looking for literally years. And you know who it is. I don't even have to say his name. But I said I've been looking for this minifigure for years because unlike a lot of the previous minifigures we've gone over, which I had no idea that were even still in my possession, I knew I had a Count Dooku because I've had his curved chrome lightsaber forever. I never lost the lightsaber, but I lost the figure for years until today, folks. I have found him, and he looks so great. This is the Clone Wars version of him, and I really think this is one of the best versions of him because he just looks so menacing in the all black, and the face. He's just so angry looking. Ow! I hit my arm there, but and with that lightsaber, it just completes the whole look. I mean, this is a fantastic Lego minifigure. And I saved him for last because I've literally been searching and searching for him for years. Not much printing, really. But again, that's sort of the theme with these rare Lego Star Wars minifigures. The printing isn't extreme, but the figures are just so great. And I'm just so happy that I finally found Count Dooku because now I have Darth Maul, Darth Sidious, Darth Vader, and Darth Tyrannus. So cool. I'm going to do a whole Sith minifigure collection video very soon. So great to finally find him. But he's the last figure, so let's move on to the final lineup. And that is the whole rare Lego Star Wars minifigure lot from today, all lined up one last time. I'm going to do one last zoom here just to get every figure in. Even Watto over there, Anakin with the goggles on, so cool. Even that I got to build my clone army and droid armies for free, my Mandalorian crew for free. And all of this whole cluster of the rarest figures, some of the rarest Lego figures I own. So just so cool. Just look at all of them. Such a great lot. This lot would literally be worth probably like $150. If you were to buy something like this online, I'm just so happy that I found all these minifigures, because again, like I said, other than Dooku, I didn't know I still had any of these in my possession until now. Joe Clone is the great collector, but and it's all on a budget too. Like I build my collections for free. I don't know what you guys are doing. Check your attics, but that's it for this review. I'm gonna be doing a review for all the non-Lego Star Wars minifigures I found today. And I'm gonna be doing a review for all of like my bigger figures and like animals that I found today, which is insane. But as you know, I'm just a simple man trying to make my way in this universe. And I thank you all for joining me on the journey. That is a review. It's one of the most fun reviews I have ever done on this channel. I'll see you in the next one, and peace.